Hello and welcome to Feedbackula, the show that, by all rights, should have really been sued for libel by now, but somehow we're still standing. Still, can't blame a guy for trying. That should do it. Coming up this week...
What exactly is this place?
Sonic Boom! That's the slightly confusing name of the new Sonic game from Sega that definitely isn't going to cause them any problems with search engine optimization. The game was announced late this week along with this trailer, designed to convince you the game is good and that dubstep is somehow still culturally relevant. It also shows off the newly redesigned cast of characters, some of whom look very, very different indeed. Our community reaction was, as is so often the way when it comes to big change, pretty colourful. Did I say colourful? I meant hateful.
Those redesigns are hideous!
Well, their proportions changed. A lot. O_O.
Looks like Kunkel skipped leg day!
Knuckles, a once powerful and respected warrior, an equal to Sonic and an exciting new character to play as with climb, glide, and run through walls,
has now been roided up and made into a total douchebag that only wants to get on the sunbeds and jab up.
I call it quits. I completely give up on this series. Sega can keep Donkey Kong's and Knuckles' love child.
So Sonic is a hipster? The kind of loser who wears a scarf when it's hot outside?
Knuckles, your head is too small for your body, and Sonic, your legs are weird. Amy, be useful, and Tail, stop sounding like your nose is stuffed up.
You know they're fictional characters, right? They can't actually, hear you.
Sonic Boom worst game, and be worst game on Will You, and be layoffs to Sega this year as well!
Being a Knuckles fan, I hope they don't keep this design in future iterations. Knuckles has always been awesome as a freakishly strong normal size guy. Making him the big guy isn't appealing to me. I can deal with it for one game, but still, really, really hope it doesn't stick. Also, his knuckles aren't as cool anymore. That's just twisted.
Knuckles' knuckles aren't the same. That's some pretty meta sorrow right there. So yeah, it seems the new artistic direction for Sonic and pals isn't exactly popular with our commenters. But then they do ask a good question, what the hell has happened to Knuckles? I mean, okay, the scarves and bandages are a bit weird, but I can cope with that. But Knuckles? Really, he just doesn't look very well. I sat down with renowned naturalist Albert Wharfdale to find out just what's going on.
Well, obviously, this is a very rare physical anomaly, one we rarely see in monotreme species, such as the echidna. There are many things that may have brought it on. Perhaps a change in diet, unusual environmental stress, or a developer clutching desperately at straws.
Thanks, Al! So the results may be inconclusive, but that's okay, because not everyone hates the look of Sonic Boom. Granted, there weren't exactly many of them, but they do exist. Watch!
I like it. Knuckles always blew Sonic away on the cool factor back in the Genesis days. At least now he's entirely different compared to Sonic. He should have been like this in the Genesis days, if the Genesis could have handled it.
Aside from the excessive amount of tape, I don't mind the redesigns. Of course, I know everyone will hate them because, Sonic fan base.
It looks good. It could be like a true Sonic Adventure 3, but more like SA1. They overdid it with the bandages, and Knuckles' new look will take some getting used to, but I like it so far. Should people really complain about Sega ruining their childhood when they were the ones who created it? At least Sega is trying to make it fresh.
Yeah, I've heard worse arguments than that.
Guys, the co-founder of developing team is Bob Raffay, the guy who helped make the original Crash Bandicoot games with Naughty Dog, all Jak and Daxter games, and the first Uncharted game. So if there is any hope of a good Sonic game, this is it!
This seems to me like a reboot like what Sonic 06 was supposed to be, because there's no other explanation for Knuckles' redesign if it's still within the current continuity. If this is a reboot, then I see no problem with Knuckles' redesign, considering Knuckles can punch down walls. At least his new bulk would explain how he could do that.
Trenderman has mixed views on that scarf.
Thanks, Trenderman! So, where does this leave us? Well, the people in favour of Sonic Boom were definitely in the minority, trapped in a sea of pissed off people, but at least they do exist. Maybe the game will be the shot in the arm Sonic desperately needs. Maybe not, but if nothing else, Sonic Boom is certainly a bold gamble. But what I'm left wondering is this: is it the right time for Sega to be taking such wild swings? Sonic has had a bit of a shit time over the last few games, to put it lightly, and faith in the franchise isn't exactly at an all-time high. The trailer for Sonic Boom feels like they're trying really hard to do too many things at once, and that's a bit worrying. For Sega's sake, I hope it isn't a complete dog's dinner, but then when your main gimmicks for revitalization are scarves, bandages and steroids, well, that's not hugely encouraging. I should know, that's Cameron's winter wardrobe!